Hi, I wanted to make a quick video that goes over the multiplication and division rules for integers to help you with the quiz of multiplying and dividing integers. So the multiplication rules are on this page and the division rules are on this page. You may notice a similarity between the two, but they aren't that different. But I'm going to go over each one of these in this video to help you out on your quiz. So first, one saying that really helps out when trying to remember what the product or quotient is that if you have the same signs for both of your factors, then the answer will be positive, like two positive numbers multiplied by each other or two negative numbers multiplied by each other. When the signs are different, one of the numbers is negative, your answer turns out to be negative. And that goes the same with division. When both are positive, your answer is positive. When both are negative, your answer is positive. But when one's positive and one's negative, your final quotient or your answer there will be negative. So I just wanted to show you what this looks like with counters. So if I make these that changed it. Okay, let's go back. These are going to be positive counters here. And the way you can think of multiplication is two groups of three. So I'm going to show two groups of three. There's one group of three. Here is another group of three. So that is positive 6. That's how that works. If I wanted to show two groups of negative 3, I could show one group of negative 3. So this is saying 2 times negative 3, two groups of negative 3. So there's one group of negative 3. Here is the second group of negative 3. And there is a total of negative 6. So a positive times a negative here gave us negative 6, a negative answer here. That doesn't change if the other factor is negative. So instead of saying two groups of negative 3, we could look at this third example here as three groups of negative 2. So this could be a group of negative 2, and I'll do three groups of them. So there are my three groups. One group, two groups, three groups of negative 2, which still ends up to be negative 6. And this top one is a positive 6. So when one of the factors is negative, your answer is negative, but they all equal 6. The last case here is what happens when you multiply a negative by a negative. In that case, they both have the same sign, so they will both be, well, they'll be positive. If you're multiplying two things with the same signs, your answer is positive. So one way to look at multiplication is repeated addition. If you're saying 2 times 3, that is 3 plus 3. 3 plus itself 2 times. If one of the numbers is negative, it becomes like repeated subtraction, where it's saying negative 3 plus negative 3, which is negative 3 minus 3. So it's like repeating subtraction when one's negative. When both are negative, it becomes repeating addition again. And that is a little confusing, but these actually end up saying the same thing two groups of +3 for this last rule, that a negative times a negative will be a positive. With division, you'll see that it is very similar. So if we have 6, we want to divide into 3 groups. If I took 6 positive counters and divided them into 3 equal groups, you would have 2 positive counters in each group. I'm going to go down to this third one here. So let's say I had -6 as counters. -6, and I want to divide it into 3 groups. There is -6, and one group would be 2 of those counters, 2 groups, and 3 groups. So I divided it into 3 groups. What is in each group? There are -2 in each group. Oh, this one would go here. And that actually is the same for 6 divided by -3, that this negative sign, it doesn't really matter which number the negative sign goes on, the answer is still negative. That one of the numbers are negative, so your answer is negative. And then the case when all or both of the numbers here are negative is the same thing as when they're positive, that this is saying the same thing as +6 divided by +3, which ends up giving you +2. Right, so if you have all of these rules down for multiplying and dividing integers, this quiz should be a breeze for you. Good luck.